All right, welcome everyone to your 15-minute yoga fix. We might go a little bit longer today, about 20 minutes, because I'd like to go over sitting. So before we start, just make sure that you have space to practice. You have your mat, you have relative quiet and peace. You have your props, your 2 blocks. That's all you need today is 2 blocks. Don't need a strap. Okay. And we're focusing, since this is week 1, we're focusing on grounding. So we're going to stretch out our feet and our calves, focusing on the lower body. All right. So starting by finding a comfortable seat. You can sit simple cross-legged, 1 foot in front of the other. But what's most important when you sit, however you sit, you can sit in a chair, is that your spine is in a neutral position, right? So you're not rounding your spine. You're also not overarching and sticking your chest forward. You have that nice neutral spine. So cross-legged, simple cross-legged is awesome. Another option is to take one of your blocks and sit in what's known as Sukhasana in Sanskrit by having the block behind you and then sitting on the edge of the block, bringing one foot in, bringing the other foot in, and just letting your pelvis tilt forward a little bit here. Okay, so your spine is neutral and your knees are happy. You also want to make sure that there's never any pain in the knees. Okay, so if this feels good, this is a great option. Another option for those of us who have lower back stuff going on is to take 1 or 2 of our blocks and stack them on top of each other and come into what's known as hero's pose, Virasana in Sanskrit, placing 1 foot on each side of the block and sitting down on your block throne. And this also protects the knee and ankle joints. And for me, whenever I come into this seat, I feel a really nice release in my lower back. All right. So finding your seat, whatever that seat is right now, letting your eyes close as you come into your seat. Taking a nice deep breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And relaxing your arms alongside your body. On your next inhale, lifting your shoulders up to your ears, exhaling them back and down. So doing this a few times, letting go of the day, the week, anything you might be holding on to or carrying with you. So with each shrug of your shoulders, with each exhalation, letting go a little bit more. And the next time that your shoulders roll back and down, clasping your fingers behind you, squeezing out your shoulder blades, breathing here. And then releasing your hands and letting your hands rest on your knees or thighs. Palms can either face up or down. And one or the other will feel intuitive to you. Begin to feel the connection of your lower body to the earth. Feel yourself being held and supported. Feel that beautiful grounding in the lower body. Feel your sit bones, those 2 knobby bones at the base of your buttocks, rooting down into the ground. And from that beautiful grounding, begin to feel the spine rising upwards toward the sky, the shoulders spilling down the back, the heart spreading open. Relax your face, your mind, dropping into your breath and into your body. Just giving yourself permission to be wherever you are right now, to feel whatever you feel. Let the breath become a little bit deeper, a little bit slower, a little bit longer. And as you inhale, imagine the breath rising up from the earth, through your tailbone, all the way up through the spine, crown of the head. And then exhaling down from the crown of the head, all the way down the spinal column and back to the earth. So as you practice, always coming back to your breath, coming back to your body. Everything that I am offering you is exactly that. It's an offering. So if there's anything that I do that does not support you, forget about it. Do something else. Rest in child. Take care of yourself. And softly opening your eyes, coming out of your seat, shifting over toward your hands and your knees, tabletop. Spread the fingers, stack the joints. So wrists are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. And now curl the toes under and lift your heels. So we're going to do cat-cow with our toes curled under and our heels lifted to really get into our feet, our plantar fascia, and our toes. So as you inhale, you're going to drop your belly, arch your spine, open the front of the heart, cow-facing pose. And then exhale, draw that belly in, rounding the spine, opening the back of the heart into cow. A few more like this. Inhale, dropping the belly, arch the spine, open front of the heart, cow. Exhale, drawing that belly in, rounding your spine, open the back of the heart into cat. Again, inhale, dropping your belly, arch your spine, open front of the heart, cow. Exhale, drawing that belly in, rounding the spine, open back of the heart, cat. And now move back into child with those toes curled under and heels lifted. So buttocks toward heels, reach through your arms, nice juicy stretch in the upper body. Arms are straight and hovering off of the floor. Just your hands are on the mat. Let your head spill between your shoulders and take a few full deep breaths right here. If you notice that your ankles tend to fall out, keep your heels right below your buttocks. So preventing those ankles from externally rotating. Getting a nice stretch in the upper body as well. And then making your way back to your hands, your knees, releasing the curl of your toes, and just gently slapping the tops of your feet onto the mat. Letting that go. Now you're going to extend your right leg, draw your right heel toward the floor and give your calf muscles a nice stretch. Try to even out your hips. I have a tendency to kind of externally rotate my right hip here, so keeping those hips neutral. So breathing into your right foot and right calf muscles. The face relax. We're going to switch sides. So bringing your right leg back next to the left leg, tabletop. Just noticing how you feel. And then extending through that left leg, pressing the heel toward the earth. Stretching out the calf muscles, getting into your left foot, evening out those hips, squaring off the hips. Find your breath, face is relaxed. Letting this go. Come back to your tabletop. Notice how you feel. So we're going to set up for down dog. Now, if down dog for any reason is not part of your practice today or in general, what we're doing from down dog is transitioning into a low lunge. So you can rest in child instead of doing down dog. And then when I cue the lunge, you can just make your way to your hands and knees and begin to bring your right foot forward. Okay? So either coming into child, enjoying a luscious child, or moving with me into dog. And I highly encourage you to really spread your fingers wide for down dog. Index fingers will face straight ahead, thumbs pointing toward each other, pinkies pointing away from the mat or toward the outer edges of the mat. Curl the toes, lift the heels. We're going to start with a puppy stretch. You can always watch me first. Drawing the butt to the heels. Again, reach through those arms. So the arms are straight, hovering above the mat. Hands on the mat. Head spills between the shoulders. So keeping your upper body nice and still. As you exhale, you're just going to lift your dog butt up to the ceiling. And your upper body will simply follow the lower body. And then you'll begin to walk your dog. So again, getting into your feet, getting into your calves and your lower leg and your legs, your lower body. Breathing here. You might wag your tail a little, getting into your sacroiliac and hip joints. One of the best things we can do for our joints is move them, because that brings synovial fluid into them, really healing. And then from here, if it's part of your practice, you're going to shift into your left leg, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Come onto your left toes, come onto your fingertips, a little bit of core. Exhale the knee toward the belly, round your spine. And then shift the knee toward the thumbs, wrists below shoulders, and begin to place the foot between the hands. And most of us will get stuck somewhere in the middle, so you're just going to help yourself along. Does not have to be graceful. Legs are about 4 or 5 or so feet apart. Most important thing is that that right knee is above the ankle. You might want to fold over the left side of your mat. I find that to be super helpful to support the left knee as it touches down. Gathering in those blocks. Most of us will use them. I certainly do for this next pose. You're going to curl the left toes under and just step that left leg back a little. And then inchworm the right foot forward a little. And it's up to you how far you go. You just play with that. And then you're going to extend the right leg. The key word is extend. You do not need to straighten it. It can be bent. Walk the blocks in a little and have your hands flat on the blocks. A lot of us tend to grip the blocks, which just creates tension all the way up the arm and shoulder and into the neck. So hands are flat. Essentially, the blocks are supporting you. Let them rise up to meet you instead of you collapsing down into them. Again, flex those right toes, square off the hips. And if you're like me, you're going to feel a lot of spicy sensation in your calf muscles. So breathe into it. Relax your face, softening your jaw and your eyes. You can also, if you find yourself rounding a lot here, which we want to avoid, you can also have your fingertips on the blocks. Just keep your spine long. To come out of this, press down into the blocks, shift into the left leg, and slowly place your right leg next to your left. We'll switch sides. So releasing the fold of your mat. If you're going to do down dog to come into the lunge, you'll set yourself up for dog. Spreading the fingers, curl the toes, lift the heels, butt to heels. Reach through those arms. This is a really sweet stretch in and of itself in the upper body, in the back, in the feet. Plant those hands and exhale, lift your dog butt up to the sky. Shifting into your right foot, right leg. Begin to lift that left leg, three-legged dog. Begin to shift toward the fingertips. Draw the left knee in toward the belly, around the spine, a little bit of core. Draw the knee toward the thumbs, core, 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 and begin to place the foot between the hands. Again, if it gets stuck in the middle, you inchworm it along. Finding that lunge, protect the right knee, left knee above ankle. Gathering in your toes. Walk that left foot forward, maybe walk the right leg back a little. Extend the left leg. Flex the toes, square off the hips. Walk the blocks in a little more. Hands are flat. Nice long spine, fingertips can be on the blocks. Breath is steady. Relax your face. You can probably hear me breathing, Ujjayi, also known as Darth Vader breath. And I forgot to do this on the other side, but we'll do it on this side and then do it on the other side. So you're now going to press the sole of your foot toward the mat. It's not going to touch the mat, at least mine certainly doesn't, but we're trying to stretch out the top of our left foot and our shin. So breathe here. So we just stretched out the back of the lower leg. We're now stretching out the front of it, lower leg and foot. And pretty simple to do this on the other side as well. We'll just press into those blocks, slide the left leg back. And, you might give your left knee some padding and step the right foot forward. Maybe walk the legs a little further apart. Maybe not. You play with that. Extend that right leg, pressing the sole of the foot toward the floor. So you're stretching out the top of the foot and the shin. Some interesting sensations there. It's not something our body is used to doing. It's a good counter stretch. And planting our hands into our blocks, gently sliding right leg next to left. Placing those blocks to the side, releasing the mat if you folded it. Okay. And then just making your way into a very gentle bound angle, Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit. Soles of the feet touching each other. For me, I just have the outside, pinky toe side of my soles touching each other. And giving yourself a little love here, so a little foot massage. You're going to have your hands on the tops of your feet, thumbs along the insides of your feet, and use those thumbs to just dig into and massage the soles of the feet, the plantar fascia, the inner and outer arches, more the inner. Get into the balls of the feet. You can get into the heels with your fingertips. You can get into your toes. So really just doing what feels good. Again, tops of the feet. And then letting that, you can get into the calves. Ooh, feels really good. And then letting that go, draw the knees toward each other and make your way onto your back. Soles of the feet are on the mat. Just take a few breaths here. Just notice how you feel. And then you're going to extend that right leg toward the ceiling. You might wrap your hands around the thigh or the shin below the knee and circle your ankle in one direction And then begin to circle in the other direction. Let that go. You might do a little flexing and pointing. And letting that go. Place the right foot back down. You can extend the leg onto the floor. Shake it out a little. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can keep your right leg extended. That's totally fine. Or you can bend the knee with the foot on the floor. Extending your left leg toward the ceiling. Hands can be around the thigh or the shin, or the calf, excuse me, below the knee, circling in one direction, and then in the other. Might be a little snap, crackle, and pop here. Come back to center, you can point and flex. And let that go. Extend both legs. Just let your whole body be really heavy. Take a deep breath. One last stretch, the best for last. Draw the knees in, hands on the backs of the thighs below the knees. If it's comfortable for you, spine will rock up. If that's not comfortable, make your own way up. And we're gonna come back toward hands and knees just for a moment so we can curl the toes, lift the heels, and yay, fun times, sit onto those heels. This should be very, very spicy. It might not be right now, although you've already done a lot of work with the feet, so it might be right now. But the longer you stay in this, the more you're going to feel it. This is awesome for your plantar fascia, for your toes, for your connective tissue. It is amazing. I highly recommend doing it every day. Oh yeah, spicy. So please feel free to make any strange noises you want. Woo. Make faces, even curse. Oh my goodness. You can stay in it longer. You can come out of it sooner. All right, coming out. Slap the feet a little. Find a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Just thank yourself for taking time to take care of your body and to slow down. Namaste.